Hey everyone, this is Ryan Turner from Front Row Commerce and the Email Funnels Agency. And in this quick video, I wanted to cover what I see as the three biggest mistakes e-commerce brands make with their email marketing. And I really see this costing a lot of brands a lot of money. Now, we do a lot of one-on-one consulting with e-commerce brands to help them really get the best out of email. We also sell online training programs teaching them how to do the exact same thing. So I feel like we have a good view of what brands typically do and don't do well in email, and these are absolutely the top three mistakes. So I want to cover them, explain what they are, how to avoid them, and hopefully this is going to one, save you a lot of money, and two, also make you a lot of money by implementing some fixes in your e-commerce email strategy. So let's just jump right into it. So mistake number one is sending to the wrong audience. So what we can see on the screen here is these are some snapshot of some email results from a software tool called Klaviyo, which is what we use for most of our e-commerce brands that we work with to run their email programs. And these are the stats just for a series of 4 emails that a particular brand sent over a few days. Now, just so you know what these numbers are, this is the open rate of the email, this is the click-through rate of the email, and this is the revenue here that was generated from the email, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, generally, you want your open rates to be, somewhere in the range of like 20% or more, okay? And there's a few reasons for that. Now, obviously, the more people that open an email and the more chance that people are going to buy and things like that, obviously. But what you really do not want is to be sending emails that frequently have open rates down in the single digits here. So 2.8% open rate, 3.1, 1.9. This is not a sustainable strategy for any brand doing this, okay? So it's not just a case of saying, oh, I sent this email and not that many people, were interested, so we didn't make many sales, that, we made 200, 800, 500. Like, that's not the end of it. You're actually really, really hurting your ability to get future emails in the inbox by sending emails like this that have a really, really low open rate, okay? So just looking at these snapshots, without even knowing who the brand actually sent these emails to, I can say that they generally sent these emails to segments or people on their list who are just not interested at all. They've probably been on the list for months or years. They don't open any emails. They probably completely forgot about the brand, and they have absolutely no interest in getting emails from this brand, and they should not be getting marketing promotions at this point. If less than 5% of people are opening your emails, you are absolutely sending it to the wrong audience, and you're just going to cause your future emails, even to people that do want to receive them, to end up in the spam folder, okay? So generally, when you want to send an email, you're looking for open rates like this. So something in the 20% range, the high teens. Obviously, higher than 20% is great too. But you do not want to be seeing emails sent frequently that are in the low single digits for open rates. All right. And how we're going to do that is inside a program like Klaviyo or whichever software you're using. We're building the proper segments. We're sending emails only to people that have opened in the last few weeks or the last few months. People that have signed up to our list recently, made a recent purchase or something like that. As a general rule, you can send it to anyone that's interacted with any of your emails in the last 90 days. That's a good starting point for most brands. And then from there, you can judge based on the open rates. Am I sending it to too many people, or am I sending it to not enough people? Okay, so anytime that you consistently see open rates around these levels, you have to change your strategy. Like, you cannot keep doing this. You will end up in the spam folder, even for your absolute best contacts, if you keep blasting emails out to people and you're getting open rates like this. So, if you're sending to your whole list, if you're sending it to people that haven't opened in like 6 months, big red flag. You can only do that for so long. And if you do keep doing it, your email revenue is just going to drop off a cliff. So make sure that any segment you're sending to, any audience you're sending to, has an open rate on average at least in the high teens, hopefully up in the 20s or 30s or something like that. And again, you can see there's really little value of sending to these unengaged segments, 500, 800, when we have a really good engaged segment here, 22% open rate and over $20,000 in sales. So you do not want to be sending emails that get these tiny little open rates. Okay, so on to mistake number 2. And just zoom in here. What we have here are a couple of screenshots from 2 different brands that are using Klaviyo. We have some stats for October this year. So if you're not familiar with Klaviyo, basically what these numbers are, this is the total online store revenue for the month here and here. And then the revenue that's attributed from email here and here, okay? So the top brand is, getting roughly 30% of their month's revenue from email. The brand at the bottom is getting roughly 40%. Now, what mistake am I trying to highlight here? The mistake I'm trying to highlight here is focusing only on automated emails, flows, automations, whatever you want to call them, and neglecting campaigns like newsletters, sales promotions, and things like that. So you can see this top brand, they are getting 13% of their total revenue is all coming from flows in Klaviyo, which is automated email, okay? Now that's pretty good. 13% from automated email, that's a good number. However, for their own reasons, this brand does not want to send any campaigns like sales promotions, newsletters, anything like that. Anything that's not automated, they are not doing. And we're going to see that they are actually missing out on a huge percentage of revenue here. If we have a look at the brand at the bottom, they are generating a total of 40% of their revenue from email. They are getting 9% from automation, so pretty good, there or thereabouts. However, their campaigns, 30% or 31% of their total revenue for the month is being attributed to manual email campaigns that they're sending out. So that's not automations, that's just plain old product promotions, sales, newsletters, social proof emails, things like that. So what they're doing, they're just building a consistent schedule where they're sending, 3 or 4 emails a week to good segments. They're getting good open rates, and they are generating almost a third of their total online revenue just from sending out good frequent campaigns. Okay, so the mistake I'm really trying to highlight here is people get, they're so into automation and setting up all these crazy flows, and it happens in the background on autopilot, and that's great. But if you just focus on automation and don't put together a really solid campaign strategy, you can be missing out on a lot of sales, like we're seeing down here. So if this top brand was generating, just the same amount again from campaigns as they are with automated email, which is, pretty normal, they could be generating at least another $22,000 each month just from having, a fairly solid campaign strategy, okay? And you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to email your list every day. This brand down here sends, roughly 3 or 4 emails a week, a few more over big holidays and things like that. But they're just consistent. They plan it out. And, they don't just rely on automation to bring them their email revenue. They're really hitting the engaged segments of their list a couple times a week with high quality emails. And you can see the performance is amazing. Now, this isn't the norm. It's not necessarily kind of standard for a brand to get 30% of their revenue from email campaigns, but it can be done. Even if they were just getting as much as their flows, that'd still be an extra $50,000 a month that they wouldn't be getting. So the mistake I'm trying to highlight here is campaigns. Pay attention to them. I know they're not as sexy as automations and flows, but you have to be doing them. A balanced email strategy means your automations and flows dialed in, but also your campaign strategy planned out, scheduled in advance, and dialed in as well. And we want the contribution of flows and campaigns to bring together a nice healthy number that email is going to generate for you in a month. And you can see here we have 40% from this brand for the month of October. So don't neglect campaigns. I know flows and automations are super fun, but campaigns are your bread and butter. They're always going to perform if you do them right. And don't get lazy, don't overlook them. And try and schedule out a few emails per week. Now, let's go on to mistake number 3. So do a little bit of a demo here. So mistake number 3, let's just write this down. Mistake number 3 is neglecting the post-purchase phase. Okay, so what do we mean by that? Now, let's say we have an event over here. Someone orders a best-selling product from your store, okay? Now, what most people do, most brands do, most stores do, when someone makes a purchase, they're going to set up some kind of triggered email where, let's say a few days later, 7 days later or whatever it is, maybe even the next day, they're going to get another email, and it's just going to say, thanks for your purchase, here's 10% off your next order, or something like that. And basically everybody who makes an order will say get $10 off or 10% off a few days later, and then they might get a reminder if they don't buy. And that's kind of a lot of brands, a lot of stores, that is their kind of post-purchase email strategy. Like maybe there's other things, like they'll do a VIP for someone that spends a lot of money, or maybe after like a couple of months they'll do like a win back if someone's unengaged. But in terms of really going deep and doing targeted post-purchase emails, most brands are not doing it. So let's take a look at what I recommend you do post-purchase and how you really get the most from the post-purchase phase with email. Now, one of the real powers of email for me is actually turning one-time customers into repeat customers, then hopefully into loyal buyers who just keep coming back. And the way that we want to be doing that is with targeted cross-sells and upsells, and really making intelligent recommendations to people based on what they've bought. Okay, so if we scrap this generic post-purchase email here, let's have a look at what this brand might do instead. So someone over here is going to order, let's just say it's the best-selling product, okay? So I recommend setting up specific post-purchase strategies for, your top bestsellers, your 3 bestsellers, or, as many as you can do as possible. But, it makes the most difference to do it for your bestsellers. So let's say they order a best-selling product here. And then after a few days, the time window will depend based on, the market you're in and how often people buy and things like that. Let's say after like a week or something like that, we want to send someone cross-sell number 1. And, this cross-sell number 1, this is specifically being recommended because they have bought this product, okay? So essentially what we're saying is, you bought this item from us a week ago. We really think that you would also like this product because it's complementary in this way, or whatever, or customers also like it because, whatever it might be. So you're really just trying to recommend other complementary items that someone might buy based on the last product that they bought, and they're getting different recommendations based on their last order, okay? So they'll get cross-sell number 1 after, in this example, is going to be a week, okay? And then, maybe they buy, maybe they don't. If they don't buy, we might wait another few days. We might try and sell them the same product again with a different angle, or we might just say, here is another item that we really think could complement your last purchase, and we're going to send them a different product in, cross-sell number 2. And, this might be in the second week or the third week after they've purchased or whatever. And again, this is specifically designed for people who have bought this best-selling product up here. And this could be category level too. So it doesn't have to be product level. This could just be, your top category. And you could say, right, anyone that buys in this category after 5 days and then 10 days, I want to recommend this product, then this product. And again, it carries on. You might put a third cross-sell in, after another week or 10 days or whatever, based on, whether someone buys or whether someone doesn't buy. And again, you're basically saying, you bought this product, so we really think you're going to love this complementary item too, okay? So now, when someone orders your best-selling item, instead of your highest volume product where a lot of your revenue comes from, instead of just getting a generic email that says, oh, here's 10% off your next order, that every other person that buys from your store gets, they are now going down a specific path that is designed to sell them other products that customers that buy what they've already bought also like, okay? So you have this path, and that is just for people who buy this item, which is your number 1 bestseller, okay? And then that is going to convert a lot better. It's going to give everybody a lot more of a personalized experience, and you're going to get a lot more repeat purchasers. Okay, so it's really important to do that. Do it for your bestseller, and then you want to duplicate the sequence and make it for your second bestseller. Now, it might make sense to recommend the same 3 products, but in a lot of cases, it's not going to make sense. So you might want to recommend 3 products over the course of a few weeks that are relevant to people who have bought your second bestseller, and then your third bestseller, and things like that. Okay, now, most brands, there's going to be a small subset of their total product range that drives, a significant amount of the volume. So it might be 2 bestsellers, 3 bestsellers, 5 or 10 bestsellers, whatever it is, kind of like an 80-20 thing. So really, if you have the time and resource, you really want to make sure that your best-selling, highest volume products have these customized post-purchase sequences set up for them so that anyone who buys them goes down a path that makes sense to them, that is personalized to them, that is recommending products that they're interested in based on what they've last bought. And if you do this, instead of just doing like the generic 1-2 thanks for your purchase, here's 10% off your next order email, in the vast majority of cases, you're going to see a lot better take rate for your upsells, your cross-sells. A lot of times you don't need to use discounting to do this. You just need to tie the cross-sell product to what they've already bought, add in a little bit of social proofs and reviews and things like that, show how the products complement each other, and you're going to get some really great results turning, one-time buyers into repeat buyers, and then hopefully loyal customers in the future. Okay, so don't just have like a copy and paste post-purchase sequence for every product. Really go deep. Try and put your the people that buy your highest volume items, send them down a specific path, and make intelligent product recommendations to them. And this is something you can set up once, and it's going to run in the background. All the benefits we know of automation. So it makes sense to take the time to do it, and it's going to make every customer that comes into your brand more valuable because they're going down these specific paths that are designed for them. They get an intelligent recommendations, and they're much more likely to become a repeat purchaser. So that is mistake number 3. So just to recap, the 3 things we covered. Number 1, sending to audiences that are not interested. Definitely don't do that. Number 2, neglecting campaigns, only relying on automations. Definitely don't do that either. And then number 3, not having specific post-purchase sequences for your best-selling products. So those are the 3 main mistakes that I see e-commerce and Shopify brands making with their email marketing strategy. Now, if you want to learn more things like this, check out the case study video. I've linked to it in the bottom left of this video. There's also a link in the first comment below. It's a pretty long case study where I go into a lot of detail about how we help e-commerce brands get the most from the email channel, and how to build an email strategy that is specific for your brand, that's going to perform well, and is going to turn one-time buyers into repeat buyers, and really help you get a better ROI on every marketing dollar you spend in every channel, because doing this right is going to make every customer that comes to your brand that more valuable. So check out the case study video, first comment below, or just go to the link that's in the bottom left of this video. It'll be frontrowcommerce.com/case-study. And if you have any questions about this, put them in the comments below. I'll respond to every one. I'll be putting out videos like this every week, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get notified when the next one comes out. So check out the case study video. Don't make any of these mistakes that I've highlighted, and you should be well on your way to making a lot more revenue from the email channel. All right, thank you, and I will see you in the next one.